This run started in Goderich and ended in Bayfield. It was super challenging. It was fun, and I learned a couple things. First run, not solo, in a year of proper downwinding with foil, the greats. Super stoked. The heart rate's been going all morning pretty high, and I think we're gonna pull it off. Goderich to Bayfield.
20K.
20K.
Let's do it.
It's gonna be epic.
Yeah, man.
Cool. All right, here we go. Stoked already. Looks like we got lots of swell. Big. Wow. Here's a big one. And we're still protected by this big wall behind us, so we're gonna paddle out a little bit more, take a breather here, paddle out more, and it'll be even steeper and bigger, and we'll send it. As I ramble on here, I'm gonna put some point of view GoPro footage. I know it's not the greatest, but something to look at while I ramble on here. Funny story to start with, I met up with Josh, and you can find him on Instagram at Foil the Great Lakes. I'll say that again, Foil the Great Lakes. So funny story, we just been chatting online over Instagram and shooting texts back and forth, and I just knew him as Foil the Great Lakes. Chatted to him a bunch, and we were like, okay, we'll meet up at Bayfield 9 a.m. And on the drive up, I gave him a call just to see what his ETA is, and naturally we started talking about foil stuff, foil talk. Always a pleasure to speak to somebody about that who's super frothing and is on the same page, and not too many people around here, so that was amazing. But 10 minutes into the conversation, I go, Josh, hold on, I have an important question for you here. What's your name, man? And we just started laughing. It was like meeting up, don't even know the guy's name, like sketchy. I don't know, it made me think of like the younger generation in like Tinder or something. It was just a bizarre thing to meet up with a guy, don't even know his name, but positive social media story anyways. The conditions here were side shore, slightly onshore. And if you watched my last video, I was always concerned in talking about the wind directions onshore versus offshore slightly. This one was definitely onshore, and the traversing was fine. So I'll talk about traversing a little bit more and what I learned on this run. But the conditions were like north-northwest. Solid ground swell has built up because it was blowing that direction for like 2 days. But it was tricky. There's wind chop. The wind at that current time when we started was maybe gusting max 20 knots, 15 knots. So the steepness from the wind chop just really wasn't there, which made for a difficult paddle up. And to get on one of those faster moving ground swells, you kind of had to paddle hard and couldn't really get onto those. So you had to find like a chip shot, and then while you're up on the foil, then you could kind of get onto one of those ground swells. The set would come through and stick with them. It took me like halfway through the run to get into the rhythm, and I could really reduce my pumping and kind of figured out the flow of the waves that day. It was interesting. Both Josh and I agreed that it would have been one of those days where I could have used like an 8-foot board to get up on foil. It just would have made things a lot easier, but still learning these conditions. So the winds were side shore, slightly onshore, and I always get concerned about that because it's a lot of traversing. I like to just surf the waves and forget about it, but traversing, the best thing is like you get your speed up and then start traversing when you need to peel off or you have maximum speed, and then you can pump a lot less and just use that speed to get you further out. It's kind of counterintuitive to do like a bottom turn and head towards the shore because I'm always trying to stay out, but I learned you can save a lot of energy if you just do a quick one and stay with that wave in the pocket and wait till you have that lots of speed and then start heading out further into the lake. So I did learn that if it's slightly onshore, not to worry. You can you can still, you know, make it out.
Oh man, that was a tough run. Josh, he gave it his all. Poor guy. I can relate. At least he didn't have to call a taxi. But what a trooper. What a trooper. Made her 10K.